guys, it's Queenie, and today I wanted to do a video talking about what it's like to grow up as an Asian American. I'm doing these questions from a tag video. Obviously nobody tagged me, but I wanted to answer these questions anyway because I think it's interesting to see how other Asian Americans have grown up, or if you're not Asian American and you want to have some insight on what it's like to grow up as one, here's the video. So I'm just gonna get started, and I think I have like 9 or 10 questions, so hopefully this will be interesting. The first question is, which ethnicity are you? I am Chinese ethnically, and I'm obviously American because I'm born in the United States. What generation are you? So my dad is from Hong Kong. He was born there and he grew up there. And my mom is from Malaysia. They're both ethnically Chinese. My parents both immigrated to the United States in their 20s, you know, had nothing in their pockets, just started from scratch, and they have been living in the US ever since. And I am a first generation born in America. What is the first experience where you felt that demarcation of being a minority or being different? So, I would say when I was in New York, I was in kindergarten or preschool, so I didn't really understand race back then, so I don't think I felt any different. But when I moved to Connecticut, I definitely felt like there was a significant less amount of people that were Asian in general. The majority of the people here were white, African American, and Hispanic. And in elementary school, I was pretty much the only Chinese American in my school. There were, I think, maybe a couple South Asian people, not really any East Asians. And I remember this specifically because I remember our school suddenly had a new student, but she was in like the 1st grade and I was in 5th grade already. And they asked me to go down to the cafeteria during her lunch and just talk to her and try to, you know, I don't know, communicate with her because they need her parents to sign this form. And I was like, okay, that's kind of strange, but I guess I'll do it because if your teachers tell you to ask you to do this, you do it. And so I remember walking down to the cafeteria, and they point to me where she was, and she was just sitting with her little tray and just eating. And then I walk up to her and kind of just say hi, and I asked her like some question in Chinese. I was just like, hi, do you know what I'm saying? Parents need to sign this form. And I spoke to her in Cantonese because I speak Cantonese. And I think that's where the teachers probably didn't realize that she's not Chinese. She definitely did not understand what I was saying. She just thought I was being a weirdo, like a creepy girl, just walking up to her and speaking to her in some strange language that she didn't understand. And I'm pretty sure she was kind of scared. But at that moment, I realized, okay, she's not Chinese. And I think I try to explain this to the teachers, like, no, she's not, like, she doesn't speak Chinese, she's not Chinese. She's probably like some other ethnicity. Like, she could have been Korean, she could have been Vietnamese, she could have been Japanese, I don't know. But that was a strange experience. And I remember also, I would say 4th and 5th grade, just growing up in general, I felt different when people would ask me why my eyes were so small. They would be like, your eyes are really small, why are they so small? And I didn't connect it with being Chinese at the time. I was just like, oh, I mean, that's just how I look like because, you know, genetically, my eyes were like this, you know? I didn't really know how to explain it. Like, how do you explain why your features are the features that they are? You can't, you're just born like that. And yeah, I think I kind of always knew I was different, but it didn't really deter me from just being me, I guess. Was I always proud of my heritage, or was there a time you rejected it? I would say, of course, I wasn't always completely prideful of, you know, being Chinese. I think I should reword that. I don't think I ever rejected it. In middle school, I met actually more Chinese American, Asian American people, and so actually I felt a lot more comfortable then, and I was really just happy and just making new friends. I don't think that I felt like I had to reject who I was because I finally felt like I was accepted in a place that just in like a little group of friends. So yeah, and actually at that time, 7th grade, 8th grade, Big Bang, I found out about Big Bang, and I was like freaking amazed. And then there was Girls' Generation, and eventually 2009, I think that's 21, and so I was just simply amazed because I never, growing up, didn't see people that looked like me on television except for Brenda Song from freaking Zack and Cody. Having this whole other aspect, like, oh, Asians aren't just doctors and lawyers, they can be singers too, they can be celebrities, they're pop stars, and that just like blew my mind, kind of. I was just like, oh my god, there's this whole other world that I don't know of, and I really thank the internet for that. But that really just made me even more just happy being Asian, because I found something that I could relate to. You know, like 21 CL, she's monolithic, and I found a lot of comfort in just having known that. I would say I was a lot more accepting of it as I kind of grew up. But there was some times when I felt like, oh, I wish I wasn't Asian. When I was doing my makeup, actually. When I was doing my eyeliner or like trying to do my makeup. I still don't know how to do makeup, and I think a lot of that is because of my eye shape. I'm monolithic, and that in itself is a whole like struggle. I feel like, not struggle, because I don't want to have like negative connotations to being monolithic, because that's something that I feel like we should embrace. But it was just really difficult to find out how to do my makeup, and I always remember like doing my eyeliner, and then halfway through the day it would be smudged, and then people would be like, why is there black under your eyes? And I'd be like, what? And then I would go to the bathroom and realize that my makeup was smudged everywhere. I looked like a freaking panda, and I would just get so sad because I just wanted to be like the other girls, wearing the eyeliner, being cute. But then when I wore it, it just made my eyes look smaller, because then I was like start putting it on like, you know, on my waterline too, because everybody was doing that, and I realized like, this is not a cute look for you, girl. Like, you don't not look good like that. And I just felt disheartened. I was just like, why couldn't I just have bigger eyes? Like, why couldn't I have a freaking fold or like deep set eyes? What are some stereotypes that I struggle with? I would say, like I said earlier, being small, having small eyes. I would say obviously a big one is just being smart, and all Asians are smart and they're good at math or good at all the subjects, and they get super high scores just because they're Asian. And honestly, I worked really hard in school. That stereotype just kind of invalidated all of my hard work. Not everybody is good at school, and it doesn't really matter what race you are. Can you speak your language? Yes, I speak Cantonese, and I said that earlier. I cannot speak Mandarin, unfortunately. I really wish I did, but my parents didn't really speak it to me growing up, so I'm not able to speak it. I did take Chinese in high school, so I know how to read some basic words. I can understand Mandarin. I would say like 60% maybe, because I can understand when my family members are speaking in Mandarin. I just don't really feel confident speaking it myself. How has being Asian American affected your relationship with your parents? I would say that because my parents and the way they grew up is so different from what it's like growing up here, they didn't understand some of the things that I would ask about. So when I asked to go to prom or homecoming or just any school dance, and they wouldn't understand like why or what was the point. They would be like, you need to buy a dress for prom and it's like this many dollars, and you need to buy a freaking bouquet, and you need to ask a date. They just never understood why every weekend I would want to go to the movies or go hang out or something. You know, kids just want to hang out on the weekends or after school or whatever, you know, and they're not just being like bad kids. My parents would always assume that I was like being a bad kid by just wanting to go out with my friends, and that's just something that was really frustrating. And I always felt like I had a quota of how many times I could ask to go out. Like if I asked this one week, I would have to wait another week before I could ask again, and I would have to like strategically do some mental gymnastics to figure out when to ask, how to ask, and make sure that I'm able to go to this event because I asked like 2 weeks before or something. And it's just really mentally draining. I still kind of struggle with that, not as much as I did in high school, but back then it was just like, come on, I'm not a bad kid. Just let me just do my thing, you know, just let me hang out. Okay, how do you feel about your heritage now? Do you identify with it? I'm just Chinese American and I identify with it. You know, some days I feel more Chinese than others, you know? It just really depends on the situation. Like if I'm with a whole bunch of other friends who are also Asian American, then it doesn't make me like identify with being more Asian or more American. I just feel Asian American. But if I'm like in freaking Hong Kong, I feel really Asian American / American because it's just a lot of cultural differences, right? It's just unique to the setting, and I just identify with who I am. If that makes any sense. What is your favorite thing about being Asian American? It's just food in general. I love being able to eat Chinese food. I can have home cooked meals that are Chinese food and also just have my burgers and fries or pizza or whatever. Yeah, I love food. I think especially being first generation, you go through a lot of challenges and struggles just figuring out who you are as a person, and I think that's really special to be able to relate to people who are also Asian American. And now there's this huge community of people just on freaking Facebook, subtle Asian traits. That thing blew up, biggest group of all time. It makes you take a step back and realize like there's a lot of people like us out there. We all come from different places, have different backgrounds, have different stories to tell, but we all can relate in a similar way. It has really transpired into just a bigger community that's more united, and I feel like we just need to uplift each other more. And my favorite thing about being Asian American is just that, just being Asian American. There's nothing quite else like it, you know? And I wouldn't change this experience of growing up as one for anything else. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to answer, so if you guys can relate, just comment down below and I'll be sure to answer. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.